weekend, the Bears are going to take it all the way up to the game to see whether Rome Odunze and Keenan Allen are going to play versus Houston. Per Matt Eberflus, Keenan Allen was a DNP 3 days in a row. Rome Odunze, of course, upgraded to limited practice participant today after DNP the last 2 days. So interesting to see if Caleb Williams is going to have those guys out there. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Two guys that will be in the limelight this weekend are quarterbacks C.J. Stroud and C.J. Williams, of course, as they face off against each other on Sunday. Stroud's coming off one of the best rookie seasons we've seen in the sport, while Caleb Williams looking to create his own history in the league and certainly struggled last week, even though the Bears were able to get the win. He credited his defense, but a lot to work on going into this game. Dan, what are you looking for to see out of this Texans team, this offensive side, against the Bears defense?
Are the Bears defensively going to treat Nico Collins like a scheme changer, like a game changer, and above number one wide receiver? I think he's ascended into that conversation. He is so good. I think the second thing is, can they try to minimize some of the massive chunk plays down the field? This is a big-time play-action, pass-centric offense. And if they don't pay a little bit extra attention to Nico Collins, I think just structurally, they're going to struggle to cover him in one-on-one situations, as great as Jalen Johnson is. I want to see how disciplined they can play defensively. We talked this week about how this offense has gotten a little bit more balance in Houston with the run game. And the number one thing I think is going to stress the discipline, both in their eyes and landmarks defensively. But I think it's really about, can they somehow treat Nico Collins like many teams treat a Justin Jefferson, a Brandon Ayuk, a Jamar Chase?
That's so not in their nature, right? I mean, this Bears defense plays a ton of zone coverage, and Nico Collins is honestly one of the best wide receivers right now in the NFL against zone coverage. Along those lines, Dan, you talked about how balanced the offense looked last week. They had a great time running through those light boxes in Indianapolis. I think the Bears would be thrilled if Houston leans on the run on early downs in this one the way they did last year, because this Bears run defense is one of the best in the NFL. And as we talked about, there's advantages to be had in the passing attack. I'm not saying abandon the run altogether. I do think that there's reasons beyond the light boxes. They have a better run game this year. The offensive line looked great. Mixon looked great. But you don't want to waste those first and second downs and put C.J. Stroud in third downs against this defense, because they are opportunistic on the back end.
RC, as it relates to the Caleb Williams side of things, he struggled week one. He looked like a rookie, some of the time. What do you want to see out of him week two?
I want to see him handle pressure better. Anybody who watched that film, they know that the Tennessee Titans got after that keister, right? They lived in the backfield. They were constantly creating pressure, and he was bailing out of the back of the pocket. Will he learn that he got to find the crease, step up, maybe move laterally and make some throws? Will he get the football out of his hands? And I know, as much as the rest of this crew watches film, there were some times in watching this game, and they were like, bro, just throw that to the open guy.
No doubt.
There were some clear misses for Caleb Williams, both mentally and physically, when he had some open wide receivers. And so the step I want to see him take is just being comfortable, relaxed, and poised when he does have the opportunity to make plays and delivering those footballs.
RC, I love that you said that because when I hear you say that, I hear you saying be a point guard. Yeah. Distribute the football and allow the guys around you to make plays. And DeAndre Swift, to me, has to be an integral part of this offense, especially when you start talking about a rookie quarterback where you can find some chunk plays potentially advantageous with him one-on-one, even the screen game. He ran 19 routes, got targeted one time. Yeah. And now we're starting to see these backs, and I think he's in that vein of those Saquon Barkleys, of the McCaffreys, of Gibbs, like in Detroit, where you want to try to get this dude the ball in space a minimum of 5 times a game to see if you can hit some explosive, especially where you compromise at the wide receiver position. So when you talk about that pressure, when you talk about trying to improv, some of those misses, I like to see him lean into playing point guard, especially with DeAndre Swift.
Another thing to watch, Marcus, you'll like this one, RC, I guarantee you saw it. 4 batted balls last week by Tennessee's defensive line versus Caleb. I want to see if Houston picks up on that a little bit, gets their hands up. Maybe Caleb tries to adjust 4 of them week one. I want to see if that continues to be a trend for him.
Yeah, also to Marcus's point about running the ball, especially if Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze aren't healthy, they really may rely on DeAndre Swift. Let's do some game picks. Oh, no, look at us. What are we doing here? Guys, the curse was alive and well when we thought it wasn't going to all be alive and well last week.
I feel good about this.
I'm not changing it.
I feel good about it. I felt good about it last week.
You was dead wrong.
I didn't think the bell was going to be boo-boo.
Dead wrong.
All right, the Bears can send Dan a fruit basket in the mail.